I think this Troll's going to have a really tough time in the team fights. He has Doom to deal with. He has Coddle kiting him out to deal with. There's not a natural gap close mechanism.
The smoke breaks on TA2000, who was melded up the high ground and will instantly give away the first one. This is actually looking good for maybe more. They trade out 1 for 1, but with that Burrow Strike stud and the follow-up from Ame, the AoE damage is clearing through multiple PSG Quest heroes. They're going to get a third kill out of this, a 3 for 2 exchange. And Ame is going to be a very happy boy after that one.
I mean, most of these XG heroes are going to be very happy. They're already halfway to level 2 on 2 of these cores between the Troll and the Venge. And the Troll...
And he gets the bounty rune too. Is he going to get the third one as well?
They're going to get all 4.
Well, it just means XM better pop off then. If he's going to be taking Venge mid and forcing a Sand King into the off lane, better do the best he can. XXS, Burrow Strike underneath the Sandstorm, trying to fight through. It's just a brawl. He just has to take the fight against the Elder Titan, survive as long as possible. He gets to get part of the experience, and Jin-Q turns some damage back around on TA2000. So all in all, quite good for Extreme. Even if it's core for support, I feel like just getting the experience on the Sand King, and he'll come back in a dominant lane position, is going to help turn this lane around.
Anything XG, WBG get out of this lane, they're going to be happy with. So if XM does decide to rotate, he's probably going to, well, he's just going to TP, okay.
That's one way to make a rotation. Just TP to the side lanes, don't have to run, and he shows up in time to get part of an Amar kill.
I was thinking he might TP top. Ame just has a tremendous start here, man. He got so much off the start, now he's just dominating the lane, and you're ganking for him.
Yeah, the worst lane is going to be maybe this mid lane after the gank, where XM will die, gets off the swap for a little bit of extra HP, still gets run down by the 3-man PSG Quest.
Super nice gank for them. Earn charges for the Coddle. You shut down this Venge who just TP bottom, so now he has to walk out from base. Extra value there. And you have potential to contest Wisdom Rune here. 7-minute spawn coming up in 20 seconds. Would not be surprised to see Quest make the rotation for it.
See if they could get close enough to catch Noob with the Phoenix circling all the way around behind. The Ice Path is going to miss.
Got to body block him.
Got to body block him heavily here for the Venge to be able to catch up, and I just don't think they're going for it anymore. Venge has stopped the chase. DY, he'll be caught after the dive, so, oop, swap. Maybe that bails him out, but okay, Macropire fighting underneath that one. Jakalis is going to die. XM is going to get low, though. Another blast coming through, a little bit more heal out of the Magic Wand Stick. It's not going to be enough. He'll die eventually and can't get a secondary kill. Mar actually getting level 6 and sealing the Ice Path, turning that stun onto Jin-Q, gets Noob a double kill, and Noob will return the favor by healing up Amar to make sure he does not tick out to the damage over time.
Vessel done, charges online. Noob is suddenly snowballing, and this is not the hero you want to get stuck in these bad fights against.
And are they going to have a pipe? Because they have a Sand King offlane. So is he going to build aura items on a Sand King? It's kind of weird, but it might just be what he has to do, is that's what he's queued up. DY, he's going to make a dive away, but nowhere to really run to. Can't TP out either, so just dead again. I mean, it seems like PSG Quest can kind of run around and do anything with the Coddle, and Extreme just have to forfeit the situation.
Yeah, this Coddle pick was really nice. There's not a lot to combat it.
Maybe just the cooldown reduction on these axes is so much, it's just straight out better than Battle Fury.
And the backstab mid, they get
quick
to do on the bench.
With the trap out, just to ensure that the slow stolen Macropire too. So big AoE damage between the Coddle Blast and the stolen Macropire. Omar and Noob making a deadly duo here, but it's all 5 from PSG Quest that just overwhelmed this mid-tier 1 tower.
And this, I think, is the weakness of the Venge. The second you get gone on by any of these sorts of spells between the Doom, the Solar Bind, a Stomp, I feel like you're just dead. There's nothing really to bail XM out in these exchanges other than XG-WBG committing to that fight with everybody here. They're just not ready to do it. They are going Pike first on this Sand King, by the way.
A bit of an awkward situation for Extreme, but hasn't resulted in a big net worth lead for PSG Quest. Just a small one right now. Throws out the Macropire Ice Path on the TPs that are coming in.
Nice
but actually hit the stomp onto the Sand King. Again, stolen Macropire, and he's burrow struck into it. Looks like he's going to be fine, though. He's got a pipe, so he shrugs off that magic damage. No further reach from Quest. They don't need to. They successfully defended their tower, got a pick off, and they can wait to see if Extreme want to keep pushing their luck. Well, they can see XM. They can't stop him. Nobody to be able to start that fight until Malik gets close enough with the Blink Dagger, and now they can go for it.
Wants to save the Doom, and he is correct to do so.
Big kill. That shuts down the Aghanim Scepter. And as you said, still holding on to the Doom so they can immediately smoke up and look for more.
And he already has the Blink done, so the initiation power from Quest is there as...
They get the tower. Can they get out?
Yeah, this was a tough push.
They're going to get sandwiched. Ducalis on one side with Malik. Going to try and chase down these heroes. Looks like the Phoenix gets off the Supernova to try and draw some attention away from the cores. Will do so successfully, perhaps, but the stomp, it still managed to land on the Sand King. Telekinesis into the Earth Splitter with a Burrow Strike stolen away. Just beautiful steals from Omar all game.
That is the crown jewel in this one. You do not want to give up Burrow Strike to a Rubik here. With the extra AoE on top, it is deadly. Force Staff already done means he can position well for these as well. And that was, you know, you're committing for a tier 1 there. If you can't TP out, it feels like someone's going to get caught because you just don't have the blink on the Sand King. You don't have much mobility.
Yep.
And he'll put a Doom on the Jakiro, but Jinkyu with the heads up deny.
DY, got to be careful there. He's been caught already by the TA silence once, and now he'll die a second time trying to get a bit too aggressive. Stomp goes off. Oh, XM, he pushes forward, trying to catch something for Ame, but
he's in trouble.
Ultimate is wearing out. They go for a swap to try and get him away. TA2000 with the chase, but the spell shield is too strong. Omar getting blocked up a little bit here. The stomp is coming in to try and bail him out, but XXS comes in, Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, and a Stinger hit to finish him off. So they finally get a support kill they've been looking for. Look at TA2000, though.
He's looking for a backstab on a support of the Venge.
And he might just be able to find it, but it'll cost the Elder Titan his life. 2 supports down on PSG Quest, and TA2000 decides he will not.
Quest gonna try and defend this tier 1, but the Coddle is found.
Dive past the tower. Ame got off Whirling Axes, but got doomed immediately. Is in trouble now. Has to run away. Supernova's going to be used to cover his retreat and force PSG Quest back. A Burrow Strike in from the side. XXS comes in to try and stall up this retreat, but it doesn't work. And now he's kind of on an island. Gets a Heaven's Halberd. Ame Doom worn out, so he comes back into play and kills the Rubik. Not afraid whatsoever of continuing the fight, especially with the Aegis that he has. So PSG Quest not getting the jump that they are looking for off of, maybe they were just so surprised by that dive onto Noob. See if they can find a little action here, but Extreme are not going to run into anybody really unless they want to go. They got the swap, a long-range swap on TA2000 straight into the clutches of Ame.
That is the dream scenario.
Perfect situation.
And that's the power of the Venge this game. If you can smoke into the swap on a core, they're instantly gone because they're just under the troll, and really looking for the BKBs here on a lot of these big core heroes on both sides. They'll find a split pushing Jakiro.
These TA traps are always going to be a nuisance in that regard. Up and down the side lanes, they can set up a TP rotation just like that. But it is just a support kill. PSG Quest up by 3K. Are they happy with this lead? Are they happy with the way that the game is going?
No, I've liked this build the more I've watched this game because his farm rate just doesn't seem to have suffered too much.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't seem any slower than Battle Fury.
And the item's just way better than Battle Fury, so...
Yeah, so why not? Full-on smoke up from PSG Quest. But they will be running into an Extreme already set up around the trees. They get an Ice Path, 1-2 with the Macro Pyre. There goes the Supernova. Nobody to really stop this thing. It's going to be successfully exploding as Extreme play around it. A nice formation. Defending the Roshan pit. Moving fast. And he will eventually catch up to somebody here. TA2000 goes for the blink, TP away, but the Burrow Strike caught him. XXS with a great read of where TA2000 was out of that one. Now he pops the BKB, continues to make a run for it, but it forced the rest of his allies to try and jump in and save him. That's what happens here with Malik. He jumps into the back line trying to dissuade Extreme from going for that TA2000 kill. They do manage to turn around actually as XXS pushed out alone.
Yeah. Big kill to give up because I think XG could have just gone high ground off that Doom kill, especially since the Doom was thrown out there. Just wasted on the Phoenix. They had the BKB out from the TA as well, and Ame still holding on to his, almost level 20. Big upgrade for XM. Look at Jin Q. They know this is coming.
They know this push is coming for the Troll. Have they set up well enough to defend it, though? Troll gets a little bit low, but a swap, that'll help clear some of the damage. He's going to be fine. They're still going to be caught, though, on the side of Q. Jakiro gets left behind. They push back forward, though. Now the Doom is expired. Nothing stopping them from taking the fight if PSG Quest were to stick around. They do not. They get their 1 kill and get out.
Still the same story. Doom the Troll and he lives.
Yeah.
Can't really stop the swap going off, and the second that happens, it feels like you're not going to be able to commit on that Troll.
Throwing some illusions down the lane for a bit.
It's kind of interesting. They're looking at the Spirit go to the right, and they did not see them.
They got the jump on the Troll from behind. They slipped in, and the swap went out there, and he did not get the swap onto the Troll like they intended. He's still getting away with the BKB and the Glimmer Cape, though, and Quest have to back away from the Supernova once again. Ducalis is in some trouble, gets off a clap, but looks like he's going to die of the Magic Missile, which bounces over into the Doom as well. PSG Quest, once again, they got the initiation. An even better one than any of the other times, and it's still not good enough.
Did they just not get the Hex off on the Troll fast enough? Like, Ame just BKBs it. And the second that happens, he just runs it off. Even with the swap, I think miss going on the Doom there was definitely not what XM wanted. Now you have to take this fight without your Doom. Without the BKB on the TA.
So many dispels, Ame. Between the Aghanim Scepter and now Satanic, which he uses to fully heal up.
He is chunking.
Backdoor protection, but the swap goes out. Rubik, telekinesis, tries to throw himself away, but he can't get far enough away from XXS, who pounces in with the Blink Dagger, finishes him off. Immediate buyback. But nothing is slowing down Extreme, it seems. They'll take that melee barracks, dodge the Spirit Stomp, and then retreat on their merry way to yet another Roshan. I mean, just a single Supernova may be enough to secure this team fight. Quest, it's gonna need one hell of an initiation to be able to stop this one, and it comes from Malik, tries to jump into the pit. Too early. Roshan not nearly close enough to dying. They throw out the Doom. He immediately retreats, and it's perfectly fine. While the jump in from the Sand King, big epicenter, big AoE damage, and they can easily follow this up. Extreme, they're lined up to just wipe through Quest at this rate as the Burrow Strike catches out the Templar Assassin in the corner. Ducalis does manage to get the stomp off. The TA-2000. TA is still stuck, though, on the sidelines. They don't see him.
Oh, he got the TP.
Oh, he got the TP away, so he's good. And you just don't have enough Dooms anymore. One Doom was never enough, but now you've got Aegis, Satanic, Refresher Shard. So this Troll has multiple lives on top of the multiple saves that Extreme have, but they're not needed.
Noob just couldn't get enough momentum going this game. XM able to reach his items in a timely manner and make all those swaps except one count. But that one didn't even cost him here. Really showed the conceptual power of this pick in this game. Caused Malik a lot of problems every fight. Backdoor means nothing to Ame.
Yeah, it just bullies his way through the buildings. Venge trying to jump in. They throw the Doom on the Venge. That's how you know things have gotten real bad. They've given up on killing the Troll. They'll get the kill on the Venge, but of course Aghanim Scepter means she just comes right back. And ready to continue this assault on the tier 4s. 3 minutes left on the Aegis. They can stomp and blast and blinding light and magic missile and fade bolt as many times as they want, but Ame, he'll not be denied this push on the tier 4s. Little poke there from XXS, a Wind Waker.
Refresh Doom. It's gonna backstab him.
He is gonna refresh it. He's gonna go for the Phoenix. They've given up on their Troll entirely and are just trying to limit his allies, and it might actually work. They've killed the Phoenix and the Jakiro. Ame is a bit low. Does he want to expend his Aegis this way? They're gonna buy back and just end the game. Extreme wasting no time whatsoever. The Venge is actually going to get a bit of a dieback here. Again, the Aghanim Scepter, so we can keep on going for these swaps, keeping the heroes in place. But it looks like the second life's going to go down. A jump in, though. A beautiful epicenter. Burrow Strike once again from XXS to close out 3 and get the GG call out of PSG Quest.
Aggressive buybacks get the job done here as XG WBG cruising to a 40-minute victory. Probably not as much as he would want, but again, you're a brewmaster, so you can live without it. Early
Charge in
rotation.
from the side, an early rotation from Omar, and they need the Fisher to save XM. Tree toss is not enough, but Omar might be able to get the final swing, and he does. It's enough damage. They get first blood.
The extra slow. Piling up there, and that is a really nice rotation. Exactly what you want versus SF. Shut him down early and shut him down hard. Put him in a position where you have to go into these mid-game fights from behind, and we've seen Spirit Breaker just manhandle Shadow Fiend over the course of this tournament. So he's becoming a signature hero for XM. Spending a little more on regen than maybe he wants, but he is getting through this laning phase, at least the early levels, pretty well. So far, Quest should be happy about how this is going, though, as they got that early gank on the SF, and both side lanes are mostly free farming here. Looking for that bug kill.
Bug on both of them.
Yep.
So they'll get the kill on XXS, and JinQ is going to be forced to walk away.
I feel like that was inevitable.
Yeah.
Just way too many easy ways to burn resources on the lane with the double range versus double melee and set something like that up. Committed.
No love whatsoever, only punishment. JinQ comes in looking for a Fisher, but he can't block them all off. He hits a beautiful enchant totem that hits on 3, and he'll be able to run down to Collis, but it does not undo what has been done. XM dies again.
That's the most you can do there if you're JinQ. No way to save your SF on the dive. Too much early magic damage. Will be double water room into Noob's bottle as well, so full resource refill on this Tiny. Taking a level advantage here, taking a net worth advantage. A lot of pressure going into this mid lane. And Ogre is not the best 5 at helping respond to that either.
No.
Kind of has to babysit the morph early and then kind of a static laner. If you get kills on lane and you get a fast boots, you can make those rotations. You can fight around mid, but without it, you're too slow. And okay, there's a little pick
Mark
off.
kind of gives up a freebie there.
Yeah.
Though the 2v1 we saw when the gank was happening through the Spirit Breaker, the 2v1 oftentimes seems totally fine for Malik. As long as he has that extra spirit damage, which gives him extra movement speed, which gives him extra attack speed. That's one thing in this facet. We've seen the momentum
DY.
really go to work. DY thought he could challenge that? Wrong.
Aggressive waveform from Ame kind of baits his 5 in. Malik gets the job done with the double spirit. Gotta respect that momentum on the lane.
Which made me wonder, the panel talked about, you know, the Ags Mask of Madness build. I do wonder how effective Mask of Madness is for this hero. XM just gets dumpstered, man. This poor guy is just getting run down by 3 heroes 3 times in 6 minutes. This is just not fair whatsoever, and Malik is winning the 1v2. Is he going to kill both of them? Ame? He's going to have to morph into strength. Okay, Spirit's out, so there goes all of Malik's damage, but they are completely underestimating this core Elder Titan.
They are getting run over in this early game. No way around it. Their early rotations have really abused this Shadow Fiend, and Malik just straight up winning the 1-on-2 Giga Chad style. This tier 1 is gone with the catapult timing. Some really nice gank connections here. A lot of extra XP into the supports. Noob's going to look for the quick gank top on the Brew, who is not level 6 yet.
Oh, tosses over the Weaver. The crash landing does some decent damage. They hit the Avalanche, and XXS is dead as well. All 3 lanes heavily won at this point.
This lineup, is it too slow for XG to recover right now? Because they're going to have to do some recovery. Do split the Wisdom runes. So JinQ, he's level 5, does have some solid levels.
JinQ keeps on hitting some Fishers that are decent, but it's an Earthshaker pre-level 6. You just don't do anything. You certainly don't do enough to deal with multiple heroes.
Especially the early firepower. But more resources being burned out, more pressure applied in the laning phase, and another tier 1 that's just being sieged here.
Fisher on 2, not too bad, but XXS can continue to be aggressive. It looks like Tukalis will take out, actually. Gives some experience over to XXS, but he's still level 5, no ultimate, and it looks like the Weaver. Shukuchi doesn't want to go for it, doesn't have his ultimate. Is he gonna die? Fisher to finish him off? Wait a minute. Extreme somehow bait Quest into going too deep. Noob is gonna try and get the toss over crash landing kill on XXS. That's not good enough, and he'll die to XM. XM getting some much needed revenge for what happened in the mid lane.
I mean, that could have been a game-deciding fight right there. If that all goes Quest's way, they just take this entire game over.
he was winning in like kind of CS versus the Tiny and stuff, so he got a fair amount out of lanes, out of creeps, even if he was dying all the time. So getting the recovery kills means that he's just kind of right back up there near the top. Not quite ahead of the Weaver, but back even with Noob.
Noob's still having a crazy game here. See how much Quest can continue to abuse the chain stun potential around the map with the charges coming through. This tier 1 mid being down is really sad for XM right now. Just doesn't have much protection to step up. We can see how scared he is here.
Yep, they're trying to get the crash landing. They get the vision to pop the ultimate. This is a deep dive though. Underneath the tier 2, it's not going to be clean. They don't finish off XM, and XM in turn finishes off Omar.
XG ready for that dive. Can only gank their SF so many times before they're going to bring the numbers. Oh, he blocked him.
Yeah, creep blocked a bit. XXS struggling to catch up, but will finally get on top of Jakiro. So does Ame. Now, Noob coming in. Actually, the big burst crash landing, not quite up. The charge is coming in, though. Ame pushes him back with an adaptive strike, but it's not good enough. It's the Weaver to deliver the final blow. The Brewmaster ultimate does get off, though. They've lost their carry, but the Brewmaster ultimate is strong enough. Maybe they could still find some kills, but what about the Weaver? The Weaver's still cleaning up the back lines. He got the kill onto the Morphling, now picks up the Ogre. Jin-Q, he's also stuck in the trees, beaten to death by Malik.
Oh, we got the charge with the vision.
And he got the charge for XXS after the Primal split is down. Looks like he'll get back to the tier 2 area.
But he gets a TP. TP out of the Shadow Fiend. Again, you're getting more reactions, a lot more gold off this fight. And that TA2000 rotation is perfect right there. He gets defusal instantly through the gate, and he is just chunking people with some extra ETR on top. Is this a rune XG WBG can afford to give up?
XM marches forward. Nice Fisher. Hits on 3. Omar trying to charge out of there, immediately stopped by the Fire Blast. And PSG Quest, they do not try and take the engagement.
Just sacrifice Omar, and again, you got to have discipline on these dives because XG are reacting to them. So you can be content with the TPs there, pushing the rest of the map, and then look for a play.
Charging to Jin-Q. Jin-Q's just like, please. I mean, he got what he wanted. I think Jin-Q is accepting of death here because he got his blink tech.
Yeah,
he was out on the map knowing he was going to get charged, but as long as he buys out his blink, it's worth it.
That's 100% worth. Got to get what you can on this Shaker and try and make the big comeback play. Did find a decent amount of farm on this Shadow Fiend. XM stabilizing his game, working towards that BKB would be a huge item for XG WBG to rally around here. Still a little ways off. Got to remember, you're going to get more Bloodlust points as this game goes on as well. It's going to buff up all this core net worth. But man, is XXS hurting in this game. I don't think I've seen him this poor in a long time. This brew has been absolutely shut down.
And even his Brewling's just being controlled. Bump back into the ice path. Macro Pyre burning out the SF, and no saves from Extreme.
Yeah, he's gone.
So he is just dead, guaranteed. They're going to go for more. DY's going to get a run down by TA2000 as well. Dominating streak for both Malik and TA2000. The two side lane cores in a similar position in net worth and similar spot in kills. Oh, that's a big whiff there from Jin-Q as a reveal on the Blink Dagger. Fails to find purchase with TA2000.
Yeah, he saw him back up on that Radiant Obs, and then he scanned the camp. So he took the gamble, knowing this Weaver was low. I think he actually gets the Weaver there if he connects.
Especially if there's still neutrals in the area to get that extra echo damage off, but all right, well, what do you do as Ame looking at this game, man?
Gotta buy a BKB at some point.
Yeah, he's going, he was thinking about Lincolns, now he's going, okay, I need a Butterfly, man.
Butterfly is also quite strong here. Another way to kind of bypass the armor reduction from the ET. If he can't hit you, it doesn't matter.
Sure. I mean, he has to contend with both a Weaver and an Elder Titan.
He just waved in.
But he just jumps in at half HP to kill a creep wave and gets one shot.
Goodbye.
Quest will go for more, of course, because the carry's dead. Now the big team fighter's also going to die. XXS Die in a shallow grave right next to Ame.
And here's your building taker.
Look at Malik go.
The stapler. That burst damage, the second you get caught, there's no surviving it. There's no save here. You don't have that Venge from last game. It's just a fissure interrupt.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Mar waiting for an ally to get close enough for him to go make this go.
Yeah, DY just trying to get any sort of lane out he can.
And Mar now makes his jump, which he could possibly solo, but he waited long enough to make sure that there was an ally. TA2000 comes in and cleans up the kill for him.
Unstoppable streak for this Weaver. Been absolutely out of control since the laning phase. Do have that BKB on the Shadow Fiend. That's probably your biggest timing. Try and get a fight around it, rally this game.
Radiant's bottom.
It's even more fitting.
Takes off the belt.
It's even more fitting that he sent in a cow. He straight up delivered them a hamburger.
Maybe it's like a ritual sacrifice, you know? We sacrifice our 4 position to win this game.
Well, I don't think PSG Quest needs much help from the gods here.
Stop. This guy's about to disable help, dude. Stop tossing me, man. Does that even work? I don't think it works.
Ame is getting chased away. Can't even farm his own ancients.
Opted for Lincoln's over that BKB. Not going to help him as much versus the Elder Titan. Will help him more versus the Breaker.
In that window as well. I think it's Shadow Blade. It's just like damn near impossible.
It's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information, but they have the information back and the charge to be able to stop the Requiem. XM still gets a chance to get it off, but it's not the big burst that he was hoping for, especially with the pipe. Quest shrug off that damage. Now they go hunting. Where did the Shadow Fiend go? Where did DY go? They'll find the Ogre, but lose track of the Shadow Fiend.
Not the initiation XM was trying to give his team there. It's just so difficult.
Shinkyu's he's just gonna go for it. He's gonna try and steal an Aegis. Unfortunately for him, it's going to the other side of the map. He's sneaking in with the Shadow Blade.
Oh boy.
Can he blindly... Wait, did they see him off the sentry? Oh, they know he's here. They know he's here. He jumps into the pit.
Too early.
Of course, the timing is too early. He couldn't possibly know any other way. He knows that they saw him. He had to make the jump. And just good like PSG Quest, they lay out the sentry. They just cover their bases, make sure there's absolutely no chance of something crazy happening.
I mean, that's why you should always have detection on the pit.
Yep. Then the Fissure block maybe plays against you.
Yeah, that's kind of the pro and con of it.
Banner is out. There's the toss back.
Fissure does not catch.
Brewmaster, just too many stuns, man. And they can't even handle the banner. XM, he was like, okay, maybe I can kill the banner. Got it to half HP before he had to retreat. Just Quest took the kill way too quickly on the Brewmaster. An early time lapse from TA2000 just to try and conserve as much HP as possible. DY, yeah, that's going to be a Conda tree toss to finish him off.
That's that ET shard. Went MKB, by the way. So not the Daedalus, but the next best thing. Absolutely tearing them to shreds. Every stomp is a potential all-in.
And the Morphling no longer has an answer to the Elder Titan then. And broken. Oh, and look at Noob. Already demolishing XM before we even get eyes on him. He's going to come back down. His BKB worn thin. He'll die there. A buyback from Ame, but the Primal Split is not setting Ame up to come in with a second life and do anything about it. XXS forced to go back into his full form.
Another foray out of the base here. They find the Weaver.
Finally got the Echo Slam initiation with the Requiem to follow it up. They do manage to one-shot the Weaver. Extreme Gaming showing they still have some life left in them. They put together the pieces.
Big streak.
To get a pick off.
2,000 gold in their pocket. It's the kill they've been looking for all game. The only question is it too late? It's going to give you a lot of breathing room here. It can accumulate some farm, but not going to stop Quest from looking for stuff.
Yeah, they are still very strong with the other cores, but Ame turning into the Spirit Breaker is going to go for the punish.
Damage.
A quick kill onto Noob. Extreme, once again, overestimating their strength like they did early on in this game, though. Not to underestimate the power of the Elder Titan. Malik, during his spirit form, is dangerous, and that's why Extreme played a little bit slow, wait for the Elder Titan to retreat, and they go for the others. Omar making a run for it. He's a fast hero, will not... Oh, does die actually to the Vessel. Meanwhile, the Primal split. Run down to Collis as well. 1 kill turns to 4.
Just misplay from Quest, but XG taking full advantage of the aggressive action. They trade an Ogre for 3 while the Weaver was dead.
And now you could get an Aghanim Scepter for that SF.
BKB for the Morphling too.
Yeah, you can now get that Echo, and that follow-up Requiem is going to do some serious work.
Yeah, so much XP into the brew. 2 big items for XG here. A gem put on XXS taken from Ducalis. That was a major swing, almost 8,000 or 9,000 gold and a lot of XP. Or Quest too confident and maybe too complacent with their lead there. One bad death just spirals for them.
And the funny part is it spirals off of their own decisions. It's not just a single pick off on TA2000, but going for this kill on DY is extremely bold when you're right outside of extreme space like that, and you know the Morphling has been wanting to play as a Spirit Breaker this entire game.
He does some serious damage. We saw the crits coming through. That is not a Daedalus. That is a Crystallis just getting the damage done for Ame. Almost level 25. He has the waveform attack damage. Looking for probably the waveform cooldown. Finish up that Daedalus. Now you have the BKB to deal with the ET Aura. Kind of a powerhouse in the fight. This is where the Morphling can become a problem for them.
It could also just take one fight for them to finally put the knockout punch.
Oh, that
the extreme
solid
charge on his Q is a really good one, but he doesn't really have much of a team to follow him up here. He's going in deep, and his team can't get there immediately. The Gleipnir to follow up with the Earth Splitter on top of it. Looks like they can get this kill without Extreme stopping it.
Did commit a decent amount here with double BKB.
Oh, and the Primal Split's going to get used without catching anything. All he does is throw a stun at TA2000, a defensive toss away from Noob, just to make sure that everybody from Quest gets away. The Primal Split and a kill on an Earthshaker. That's going to give PSG Quest very good control for the Roshan fight.
Ame did get the breaker steal, so he charges out top lane. Going to be pretty fast from him. And rejoin the team, and that'll finish up his Daedalus. Going to buy out for it.
So close to 25 as well. 30 seconds left, and Roshan's going to spawn. Extreme, probably assuming they have to forfeit it. Yeah, the possibility there. Banner's going to be put down. They're going to go for the melee barracks in mid. TA2000 slow pushing it. BKB goes out. Noob looks for the toss back on the Brewmaster into the ice path with the charge in front of the Earthshaker as well. But the Earthshaker got in the Echo Slam, and that was good enough to do some damage. And they do manage to take out the SF on the side of PSG Quest. Just massive damage. Malik and TA2000 destroyed that one.
The cleave on this Elder Titan, that level 20 talent, absolutely decimated them. Just punched through the skull here of XG.
Goes for the kill though onto Malik. Malik has been trouble, so that's why he identifies the Elder Titan as the one to go for it. Immediate buyback. XM's gonna let loose the Requiem, but most of PSG Quest managed to retreat. Now the charge back in from Omar. Meanwhile on the side, Ice Path catching the SF. He's in trouble with the stomp in. Malik can finish him. One shot, one kill, easy for Malik, and now he goes for more. Running down XXS. You killed him once, you can't take him a second time though.
I mean, Ame solved his problem, but he did not solve the team's problem. As Malik gets there off that outpost TP, and that should finish up this game. No buybacks available for XG. They found glimmers of hope in these team fights, but ultimately just not enough firepower to take them down. Didn't even get through the Aegis, and Ame is going to get